live in 1, 2, 3 now.
Okay, cool. So we're rolling up characters for this mini campaign of a Faerie Rescue, which is set in northwestern Sopron, a land of hysteria you guys are going to be venturing into. You're starting off in Tororum, which is the Dwarven Kingdom, west of Sopron. You guys are going to be humans, but you're starting off in Dwarven Kingdom and you're heading off to the northwest on a mission together. And we'll get to all the starting stuff after you guys have created your characters, but you don't sort of know what you're getting into when you create your characters, other than like the general things I just laid out, that you should be humans, that it's going to be a mini campaign, that it's going to be the northwest. There may be some magical elements to it. So anyway, that's all you got for background. I think that Tony and Thomas, you had each already thought through some of what you want your character to be. Baron, you may not have, but you might want to think about it now.
Yeah, I'm thinking I've never played a barbarian.
Okay, yeah. So we'll have 3 fighters, but one of each type. That could be fine.
And what's Thomas going as? Is he's
warrior? He wants to be a warrior.
I will be a warrior. Yep.
I am going to do something completely different on my alignment, though.
You're going to be good.
No, I'm going to be neutral.
Wow.
I don't think you're going to be neutral, but that would be something completely different for you.
Well, I'm going to do
just
something
don't believe
completely different as well. If he's going to be neutral, I'm going to be good.
All right. Well, I don't know that he's going to be neutral, but you can be good. Baron, are you going to be good or neutral? I don't think you want to be evil in this one.
I'll be neutral.
Okay. So you're a neutral barbarian. Do you want to be barbarians? You could be from Sopron, but you also, as a barbarian, could easily be from Manny or.
I thought Ilar was.
Well, there aren't that many people in Ilar, but I'm saying in terms of his nation, he could be from Charon's nation, or he could be from Manny nation.
Yeah, Charon's.
I'm thinking Charon's because I'm modeling after Stormbolt from RuneQuest.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
We can't say the names of other games in our.
Oh, okay.
So we'll just beep that out in the editing process. That I don't know how to do.
So you want to be a Charon's barbarian?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, since Baron's going to be neutral, I think then I need to be good.
Oh, then I'm going to be neutral then.
Oh, then I need to be neutral.
Then I'm going to be good.
Okay.
All right. After you guys are done with your head phase, so Charon's barbarian, you realize you are going to wind up having to spend one of your skill points on being able to speak Demotic, because Charon's only natively speaks Charon's. But that's okay.
Okay.
One of the things from being from a foreign nation. All right. We can live with that. Are horses going to be incredibly useful to you in this campaign? Possibly not, because 1, it's very fast, and 2, you're going over mountains and through forests for most of it. There's a little bit of clear terrain, but not a ton. So there may not be a lot of occasion for. I wouldn't rely on riding into battle in this, and I wouldn't rely on fighting mounted and all of this either. But that's just.
So perhaps I should.
You can still be. You can still be from Charon's, but just don't know that you're going to be able to ride into battle every time.
I don't have to get a horse. I could just specialize in non-horse, badassery.
Yes, you could even take some horse badassery, but not make full use of it, and just have it be part of your backstory if you want. You don't have to min-max everything. You can have
exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Whoa! You don't have to mini-max everything. Hold on. Wait.
How do you question about Vassal. How do you roll 2d6 in Vassal?
Unfortunately, because this particular module doesn't have die 6 available in it, you do it by rolling the die 10, and then if it's re-rolling it,
you roll it again.
Yeah.
Yep, got it.
Yep.
Okay.
So, but the basic story for each of you is you're going to have your alignment. You're going to roll. You choose your alignment. You're going to roll your alignment. You've already chosen your class, and after you've rolled your alignment, then you're going to be assigning your attribute points to that is attribute and wildcard points to which attributes you want to be, weaknesses or high or above average, below average, etc., average or varied. You can save a few attribute points for cleanup improvements to goals to go poorly for you. What wildcard points you don't use, you can wind up using later for advantages or skills. But your starting thing of your class and your alignment is going to determine your character point budgets. But
if I could just orient real quick, Jason, because to follow up on that, so I've got the 7 steps to creating a free Havoc character up on the screen next to the part of the map. If you're looking for those 6 people who are watching this, Asteria is on the left. You'll see a henge with 45. You'll see the number of Asteria. Chirorum is this sort of purple area with all the mountains, which is kind of closer to where the free Havoc page is pulled up. So on page 5, we have 7 steps to creating a free Havoc character. Free Havoc characters are driven first by a player's choice on alignment. So a player chooses, and you'll see a player chooses an alignment leaning, and then there's a random roll. This runs through the steps real quick, and then you'll see how there's a character point process that Jason had mentioned and referred to, and basically the way characters are built or designed in free Havoc is starting with your choice of whether you're good, evil, or neutral in terms of an alignment leaning. You then that winds up giving you points, and then there are certain decisions that you can make that are well, it's a combination of allocating points and rolling dice give you your attribute scores. It's basically how it comes down to.
Yep.
And I will step back there, and I'll let either Baron or Thomas go first because I got to go run to get a refill of my beverage.
Sure.
I'll go first.
Okay. So you said you're a good warrior. Is that right?
I am sticking with good while Tony is gone.
Okay. So the first thing you do is roll 2d6 for your alignment, but if you get over a 9, it's just going to be a 9 because you can't go beyond the first neutral.
Sure. So I'll roll 2 dice 10 and let's see what happens because I got to re-roll. Or should I do one at a time, you think?
No, roll them both and then we'll re-roll any that are over.
Oh, wait, that was only
you roll them one at a time. That's fine.
No, sorry, I hit the double button, but it only rolled 1.
Oh, sorry, that added them together. You need the red and white button.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so that means your alignment is decent. Alignment 4, decent.
Decent.
You work hard to do the right thing, honest and trustworthy almost to a fault. Willing to take risks, make personal sacrifices, efforts sometimes fall short. I'll prefer to live quiet lives but will confront evil after it rises to an unambiguous level. You will take a difficult task from it's a greater good, but may fear serious consequences and potential repercussions. So, do you say you're a neutral barbarian? Is that what you're doing, Baron?
Yes. So I roll the 2 die 10.
No, it's still, yes, but the left, right, red and the white, but we're rolling those dice 6. All right. So you're law-abiding. That's 3 plus 1 is 4 plus 4 for neutral is 8. So you're law-abiding.
You're right on the line of good versus neutral.
Yep. Generally honest and trustworthy. Expect others to be the same. Pay your tax for mandatory service by social customs. Don't go out of your way to seek and address wrongs. Or stay in the silos of confusing structural calcium moral terms. Convinced that the course of action is good, they will ultimately help them and those they care about. The character will willing to walk that path. They're not without some grumbling.
Sounds about right for this character.
Damn the taxes.
All right, so the other things that you guys are getting. So as a good warrior, Thomas, you have getting some background noise there, or echo. You have 4 attribute points and 4 wildcard points, which can be used as additional attribute points. Those are things used to boost your core attributes. You're going to have 6 advantage points and 6 skill points, as well as having treat wounds automatically.
Okay, question. I was looking at maybe mine is out of date, the free Havoc in Sopron. It was 4 wildcard, 4 attribute, 4 advantages. So that has changed?
No, that's what you get for being good, but then you add what you get for being a warrior.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
gotcha.
turning to the
Just
there's
two more
class
advantages
points.
and 6 more skills.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Page
you end up
11,
using
Thomas.
Yep,
Page
got
11.
6 skills.
2 advantages, 6 skills, as well as the treat wounds skill for free.
Got it.
So for attributes, that means you could spend between 4 and 8 on your attributes, depending on how you use your wild cards, and you'll have 6 each for advantages and skills.
Got it. Okay, got it. And advantages is where those are the things where we pick later on.
Yeah, there's things like your social class, your wealth, starting weapons and armor, and that sort of thing.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Are we doing bounce sort of?
Well, I just want to make sure Baron knows. But Baron is a neutral barbarian, so you're going to be starting with 2 attribute points plus 4 wild cards. You'll kind of have 2 to 6 into attributes total. You're going to have just 4 advantages, and you're going to have 7 skills. And you also automatically get the skill tracking.
Very nice.
Okay.
As well as ferocious was, but that's a different thing. Okay, so is Tony back yet?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, so they both rolled their alignments, came out as decent for Thomas and law-abiding for neutral Baron. Are you neutral or good?
Okay, so Thomas is already committed, and Barrett's already committed. So I could revert and go back. I could revert and go back to good, which would be totally unlike me. It'd be very devious. Is there any one of these days I'm going to play evil?
Yeah, there's no point in playing evil in this mini campaign. You don't want to play evil in this mini campaign.
I don't want to play evil in this mini campaign, but since
play neutral,
these aren't the droids you're looking for.
Right. Since I sort of committed to Thomas that I would be neutral in exchange for Thomas being good. But how good is Thomas? He's law-abiding?
He's quite good. He's decent. He's 4.
Oh, okay. So if you're going to actually be decent, then I'll be neutral.
I will be.
Okay. All right. So you're a neutral knight. Yes.
Yes.
All right. So you're going to be rolling the. Getting some echo on the line again.
Nothing I can do about that.
So the red and the white button in Vassal to roll 2d6. All right, so the 6 stays, but the 7 has to be rolled. So roll the white die immediately to the right. Okay, so that's 7 plus 4 is 11. Your 11 alignment worldly.
All right, and let's read through our alignment descriptions since.
Yep, we did that for the others.
Okay.
Your worldly, which means which way is the wind blowing? The character wonders, considering their options for committing the action, cause or belief. When required, they may follow orders from authorities without asking too many questions. Willing to engage in a little profitable theft, they can get away with it. Often yields to temptation, but can be persuaded their interests lie elsewhere.
Often yields to temptation. And I'm an 11, right?
You're an 11.
You are literally right in the middle.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, and then as a neutral knight, you're going to have your 4 wild cards and 2 for attributes, so you can spend between 2 and 6 on your attributes. You're going to have 8 for advantages.
Wow.
So more likely to be a noble, etc. But only 4 for skills, and then you get the free skill of mounted combat.
So
I mean, you say wow, Thomas, but like part of those advantages, it has to be taken up to like you have to buy your noble status and all that other stuff.
Oh, I know.
Yes, or a starting horse or starting nice armor or things like that. That's what they. Knights with their extra advantages, or citizens for that matter. Knights usually spend them on social class, weapons and armor, or horses. Citizens often spend them just on class and wealth and membership in societies and that sort of things.
Right. And so the range that we've got, so Thomas is decent.
Yep.
Barrett is law-abiding, and
you're
worldly.
Yep. You're the most evil between all of us.
Actually, I'm the most neutral.
Yes. Both statements are true. All right.
That's even better.
It's the dialect.
So Thomas, you're going to be finding attributes, and the way this works is you're picking from weakness to high whether or not you want to spend or gain up to 2 of these character points in each of your different attributes: size, strength, constitution, dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Right. So there's 7 of them, and you can get points from any of them by making them below average or a weakness, which would mean a low score in that, and you spend points on them making above average or high. You also, from among your starting points, character points, you can spend your wildcard points on anything you want, so you can spend them here. You have to figure out how many you're spending on everything, that is, which ones you want high, above average, average, varied, etc., for all 7 of the attributes before you roll anything.
Okay.
But you can reserve points, and if you want to, if we say clean up a roll afterwards, there's 2 things you can do with a character point afterwards. One is you can re-roll it. It's still the same assignment that you had for it, but you can just re-roll the dice for a character point. The other thing you can do is you can add numbers to it, and that works as if it's starting out below average, you can add 3 to it. Starting out average, you could add 2 to it. If it's starting out above average, you can add 1 to it for a character point. And you can do that repeatedly on the same thing. It's just diminishing returns if you get it too high. But you can use that to clean up bad rolls, either by trying to re-roll them or by, boosting some that came in, really low with +3.
Sure. Does the re-roll, whatever it is, stick, or is it the best of either?
It's not best. It's the re-roll, and you can only try to re-roll it once. You can just still do adds to it afterwards, but the re-roll sticks.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so I have 4 wild card and 4 attributes, so I could do potentially up to 8 if I wanted to.
Correct. You could have high strength and everything else above average if you wanted to be, like a Jonathan Wade Bobagon.
Gotcha. I should probably reserve at least some for cleanup.
Yeah, I think when you're a good character, the focus is definitely on your attributes and long-term potential that resulted from it. So you do want to. It would be a mistake to save some of those points to just get an extra advantage. But if you save a point or 2 for cleanup to help with rerolls or with adds to low rolls, that could make sense. And then if you don't wind up not needing them, you can spend them on skills or advantages.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Well, you could also boost what you held. Like you can use it to boost an attribute, right?
Yep, you can. You can use it to boost an attribute, and if the attribute is already high, you're only going to get +1 to it. But sometimes that will put you over the line to something useful.
Yeah. And so, just to be clear, the 7 attributes you're referring to are strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence.
You missed size first. Size, strength.
I was saving that for last. Yes, so size, strength, dex, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
Correct.
Okay, got it. Give me just a moment.
And those are things which have the biggest single impact on your prowess are size and strength. Dexterity is probably next. The ones that have the biggest impact on your any magical ability is intelligence, and all 3 of intelligence, wisdom, and charisma affect your command level. Charisma is most important for companions and so forth, but these things.
Got it. I'm just marking things down right now. Give me a second.
So, Bernard, you can be planning out the same thing for your guy at the same time, same process. Don't need to. Just have different numbers of character points for it.
Yeah, I guess. Let me. So
yeah, I've got to figure. Whatever. I'm gonna shoot from the hip. Actually, I should figure out how I'm going to mini max it. I should weigh all my options and do some forecast.
You should create an image in your mind of what you want your character to be like, and put high where you want to be high, and etc.
Yeah. I'll get right on that.
I am ready. If you are.
And to buff an attribute die roll, there's a +1 option and a +2 option.
No, it's just if you spend a character point on it, the amount that it adds to it depends on how low the score is. Below average scores get +3 for a character point. Average scores get +2, and high scores get only +1. So if you already have a 17, you want to make it an 18. That's a full character point. If you only had a 12, you can make it a 14 for 1 character point, and so on.
But isn't it before you even roll, you can put points
Sorry. Yeah, absolutely. Before you even roll, you decide if it's high, above average, average, very below average, or weakness. And high costs 2 points. That gives you 2 die 6 plus 8. Above average costs 1 point. That gives you die 10, die 6 plus 3. Below average gives you 1 point back, and that's die 10 plus die 6 plus 1. And weakness gives you 2 points back, and that means that's going to only get 2 die 6.
So I've got my plan is to go with high for strength and is plus two attribute / wild card points each, and then 1 for dexterity to make that above average, and then my one remaining that I can spend on attributes, I'll hold it.
Got it. So you're going high strength and size and +1 in dexterity, and the other 3 are going to be,
yes.
4 rather, all going to be normal. Right. For the normal ones, you have a choice between average or varied. Average is 2 die 6 plus 4. It's going to be more central, and varied is 2 die 10. It can be more wildly low or high.
Okay.
So for the ones that you want, that you didn't put anything into, you can decide which each one do you want it average or varied.
And I've got the chart up. It's on page 12 of Free Havoc, which shows the attribute table, the character point cost, the roll, the range, and the average.
Yep.
So of Constitution, Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma, I'm going to make Intelligence and Wisdom varied, and Constitution and Charisma will be the average. Right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Thomas, you said you were also ready.
Yeah, I'm going to be high on size, strength, and dex, above average on con, average on intelligence, below average on wisdom, and average on charisma. And that by average, I mean average, not varied.
Yep. All right, and that's at 7 of your points?
That's 6 of my points.
Got it. You used it below average, right? Got it.
I was gonna do varied on wisdom, but then I said, the other guys will pick that up, and if they don't, oh well.
It'll be below average on wisdom, but then you're going to have 2 points left potentially.
Clean up.
For cleanup. Okay. All right. So, do you want to start us off with your rolling for your high size?
Sure. Let me get.
So you're doing 2 die 6 plus 8.
So we'll go with the red and the white, and we'll re-roll what we need to. So 2 die 6.
So 1 stays, and 8 does not.
So 1 and 3 is 4.
That's 12. So you only got a 12 size.
That's too bad.
That is something where if you use a cleanup point, you can make it a 14, though. So we'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that. Yep.
All right, and then so strength is also high.
Yep, correct.
So 5 stays, the 10 rerolls. So that's 8 plus 8 is 16. 16 strength.
And dex is also high.
Okay.
So first roll, the 1 stays, great.
Yep, so that's 13.
13. Okay, and so Constitution is above average, which
that's die 6. So the first one of these will be anything up to 10. The second die will be only up to 6.
Okay, so the first die will be the one on the left, I guess?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. So 2
stays in the 10 as a reroll.
10 as a reroll, so 2 and nope, and 2. So
that's only a 7 for your Constitution.
That's horrible.
That's probably where you're going to want to use one of your points.
That's horrible.
You got to get that up to at least an 8.
So intelligence is average, which is 2 die 6 plus 4. So I will roll. So the 1, I keep rolling 1s. I got 3.
You got a 7 intelligence.
Fantastic. Below average is die 10 plus a die 6. So the first die 10 is this guy. Oh, 9. And a die 6 is, so 13.
Yeah, it's actually 14. There's supposed to be a +1 there, but because you see the range is 3 to 17.
Oh, I see. Okay, so the number I got is 14 then?
Yes, you get 14 for wisdom. So you're willing to have that be weak, but it came in low, high where your intelligence came in low.
Okay, and then charisma is average, which is
Average,
2d6 plus 4, so 2d6. Nope. Nope.
5 stays.
5. And 6,
Okay.
11.
Plus
And
4 is 15.
that's alright.
Yeah, so you wind up with a 15 charisma and a 14 wisdom, despite not taking a point actually out of them. But you have your 2 cleanup points. You might want to use one of your cleanup points to get your Constitution up to an average 10, because at 7 you're going to have slow recovery and lower body. And then you might potentially also want to spend the other cleanup point on size to make it go from 12 to 14. Would add 10% to your weight, basically, and an extra point of body.
Right, the other option on the con, if I remember correctly, so above average on con is a die 10, a die 6 plus 3.
Oh, you could re-roll it. Yeah, that's not a crazy idea.
So on the size, I'm gonna go ahead and do the 2, spend 1 point for going from 12 to 14, that's fine. And I'm gonna re-roll the con.
Okay.
And hope it's not worse.
Okay. Die 10 is the first one, roll them both.
So wait, above average, so it's die 10, I'll roll the single die 10. Come on. Fantastic. So
Okay.
6.
You got a 9.
I got a 9. Alright.
That's still enough that you're basically in average range. You just made it into the normal recovery, so that's livable.
It was worth a shot.
Yep.
Yeah. So when you re-roll, it's 1 point, and you roll in whatever your category it was.
Was correct.
So
I improved it. Yep.
So you with size 14, that means you're 6 foot 200 pounds, and it also means you had a 16 strength. Is that right?
Yes.
So your carry is 360. You don't get anything for the con. So your carry is 360.
That sounds right.
Okay, so and then what was your dexterity again?
13.
Okay, so and then your intelligence was 7.
Is 7, unfortunately, yeah.
And then you have 14 wisdom and 15 charisma. Is that right?
That is correct, yes.
Gives you a 3.6 command level.
Okay. Not horrible.
Yeah, the other ones are good enough to kind of bring up the low intelligence. And you're a warrior, is that right?
And a warrior, yes.
Okay, your starting prowess is 3.8.
Oh man!
So when you make second level, you're going to have 4. But you're 3 to start, and you're going to make 4 at second level, and your maximum potential is 7.
Got it.
Okay, let's go through your other characteristics things. So you've your spirit. What's your alignment again? 4?
4, yep.
So you have a 2.8 spirit. It's not enough to do religious things yet, but you could at second level potentially.
Gotcha.
It also means 2 mana, not that you'll have anything to use it for. Okay, and then for sanity, you got a 14 wisdom, right?
I have a 14 wisdom and a 15 charisma.
Yep.
And then 20 minus alignment would be
right. So that's 16.
So that'd be 1.6.
Yeah, you have. So that's 6.6 is your sanity.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yep.
Yep. Enough to take 6 hits, 5 hits rather, but in another level or 2, get it to 7.
Body and
right. So your starting body is mostly coming from your size. So you're starting with 8 there, and your strength is adding 2. So you're starting with 10 body.
Oh, that works.
And you, as a warrior, you start with 4 fatigue.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So I can start looking at advantages and skills while you guys continue.
Exactly.
Perfect.
And sorry, you're a warrior. Are you? I don't think you specified, but are you a Sopron warrior?
Yeah,
correct. You are. Okay. All right. So that means that you speak Demotic for free. You don't have to spend any points on speaking Demotic. But if you want to learn other languages, that would be something you would spend a skill point on.
Sure.
All right. So let's move on to Barend.
All right.
You
So first,
you already laid out what you wanted to do, right?
Size would be high.
Okay.
I'm rolling 2d10, right?
Well, you roll the red and the white, and we'll ignore rolls over 6.
Right. There you go.
All right. So that's 14 for your size.
Size is 14.
Yep.
Okay. Next is strength. Same
Yep.
deal.
Also high. This will
reroll.
Yep.
Both reroll.
Keep it out and roll it 1 die.
And a 6.
Okay. Yep. So it's 8. Sorry, and that was high, right?
Yeah.
So 16. So you have the same size and strength as Thomas, exactly. Size 14, strength 16.
Then Dex was just above average.
Yep.
So what do I roll for that?
The same thing, but the first one goes all the way up to 10.
Okay.
Okay. So that's only an 8.
8
for your Dex.
Dexterity.
You might want to. I don't know if you left any cleanup points, but
I did.
Okay. So your Constitution, you said, was very average. Average. Okay. So 2d6 plus 4.
2d6. There's a 6.
Yep.
And the other one.
You should roll just 1 die for the other one, but it's okay. You got 6. You got 16 con.
Oh, wow. All right.
That's fantastic.
That's fantastic. You're a tank. Low Dex, but a tank. So
intelligence was varied.
Okay, that's just 2d10.
5.
Yeah, you're not very intelligent.
Stupid is as stupid does.
Wisdom, 2d10.
Yep.
Varied. 10. And then charisma is average, so 2d6.
Yep. 5 stays, just roll 1 die. Okay, so whatever, 6, 10.
10.
So you did come up with only a 5 intelligence, which you could spend a reroll on. Or you could try to raise your dex, which is currently, what, 8?
8. So spending a point would bump it by 2 to 10, which...
8 counts as below average, I believe, so it would bump by 3 to 11.
To 11. So that would be the safe way to go, to just make it average.
It's the prowess helping move, but a 5 intelligence is...
You're saying the intelligence is going to hurt me mentally?
Well, only if you only have to pass intelligence task checks, or...
I need that dex higher, though. It's going to be combat.
How many points did you leave?
1.
Oh, God.
So the 3 options you have are raise your dex to 11, raise your intelligence to 8, or reroll intelligence. That's 2d10. Those are your 3 reasonable options at that point.
Or reroll dex. Because...
reroll dex, because it's going to give you an average of 12 and could go up to 19. You could reroll
you're
dex.
a barbarian. How much intelligence do you need?
Right. So the dex, because I had it banked up to above average, and I'm applying a reroll point, then I'm doing another above average roll.
Correct. Right? You get a die 10, die 6 plus 3 if you do that.
Okay. So here's the die 10.
Okay.
4.
Yeah.
Here's the die 6. 4. That's 8.
You got 11. Same thing you would have gotten for the point. So
right. So there we go.
All right.
Okay. So that's my character.
So we know you carry 360 because you're the same as Thomas in that regard. Oh no, that's not true. Because what's your Constitution again?
16.
Okay, so that gives you a plus 0.2. So you actually carry 400.
Wow.
Oh. Okay. So then 400. That's worth 2 points of prowess right there. Your dexterity was 11, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then for your command, your intel is only 5. What's your wisdom?
10.
15. What's your charisma?
10.
25. So you only have a 2.5 command level.
Okay, got it.
And then you're a barbarian, right?
Yes.
Okay. 3.9.
For spirit?
No, 3.9 for prowess.
Oh,
You just barely missed
Oh,
starting
man.
4.
wow, that's terrible.
Well, you needed 0.15 more. Like 3 points of dexterity would have done it.
Oh,
Um,
that's okay. I'll live.
Yep.
Or not.
It would have taken 7 points of intelligence to get your prowess up to there by affecting your command level.
If you're just average.
Okay. So you're starting out with 3, but you'll get 4 at second level. All right. You should be thinking about some of your advantages and so forth, but let's give you your spirit. So your wisdom is 10.
Yep.
There's your charisma. What's your alignment?
It is 8.
Right. So, and you are a barbarian. You have only 1.7 spirit.
Oh, that's dangerous.
You have a mana of 1. The magic is just not going to be happening in your
Right.
wheelhouse. Okay, so and you said 8, so that's you have only 4.2 sanity.
Oh shit.
Uh-huh.
So that's one of the drawbacks of having that very low intelligence is your wisdom helps a little bit, but
You said 4.0.
4.2. 4.2.
4.2. Okay.
Yeah. If you lose 4 points of sanity, you go mad and lose the game.
Alrighty.
All right, so you can think about where you want to spend your points on social class and status, skills. And for your skills, remember you have tracking for free, and you only speak Terrans natively, so you're going to want to spend at least 1 point on being able to speak, read, and write Demotic if you want to be able to converse with everybody else. But your choice. You could just grunt.
Yeah, I'm doing. I'll put the point in Demotic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
that,
point.
That's a skill point. Yep. But just you can think about how you want to spend all the rest of your skill and advantage points. Let's get over to Tony.
Okay, I'm going to go above average for size, strength, dexterity, constitution, and intelligence for 5, using my wild card and my abilities, and then that leaves me 1 for cleanup.
Okay.
So that's how I'm going to do it.
And do what other? You have 2 others which are going to be average or varied.
Let's see. They will be probably average, but those are the last 2 on the list. And so let's kind of see where things go.
All right. So size is above average. Yep.
Size. No, yes, everything is above average, all the way down to wisdom, and that's wisdom and charisma or not. So it's 1 die 10, 1 die 6 plus 3.
Yep.
So 7 plus, so it's 13 size.
Yep.
Right? Okay, and then for strength, it's same thing.
Yep.
4, 8, 11.
Yep.
And dex. So re-rolling 4.
The 4. No, the 4. So for the 8 counts because that was under your die 10.
Oh,
so you had 8, 4. You have 15.
Oh, my
for
bad.
dex.
Okay, 50. For some reason I thought it was a. It was a.
The first die is die 10.
That's right. My bad.
Yeah. So con is also above average, right?
Yeah. So it's a 15 dex. Okay. Yeah. Con.
Correct.
Everything's above average. All right. So con above average. 9. And 6. 15. 18.
18 con.
Intelligence above average.
7 is reroll.
Rerolling.
Okay, so 8 and 4 is 12, 15 intelligence.
Okay, wisdom.
2 die 6 plus 4.
Fuck it, we're just going varied. 15.
Okay, 1-6. Roll
Oh, I'm
the
sorry.
other
I meant
single die 10.
the varied. It's the two. It's the
Oh, varied. Okay,
yeah. So
you
varied.
didn't do average. You did varied. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. 15 wisdom then.
And same thing on charisma. Papa wants a high charisma. No,
Oh, Papa
6.
gets a 6 charisma.
Okay, so let's figure this out.
Yep. You could potentially re-roll strength or add 2 to strength. You could potentially re-roll charisma or add 3 to charisma if you just want to get rid of the weakness. All your other attributes are pretty good, but for the knight kind of character you want, your strength isn't very good.
Okay, what's
May
my
not matter.
what's my prowess right now?
I don't know.
So
So you're 190, and what's your strength?
11,
11? Okay. So that's 1.1, and what's your con?
18.
Right, so that's 1.4. So you currently carry 266. And your dexterity is what, 15?
Yes.
Okay, so and your intelligence,
15.
Wisdom, also 15.
Yep.
And so that's 30, and your charisma is only 6.
Yep.
So you're at 3.6 command level.
Same as me.
But then you're a knight, so you're currently at 3.8.
I think I gotta re-roll my charisma.
You want to re-roll your charisma?
Isn't that going to that? Is, I mean,
Charisma, a higher charisma will boost your command level, but it's going to take a lot in it to get you 0.2 of prowess.
what do I need for strength?
Well, let's look at it for a second. So, you would need a 15 intelligence to make all the way to 0.2 added to your prowess. As for the strength side, you currently have 11. If you just bumped it to 2 for 13, that would be adding 0.2 times 190 to your carry, 38 pounds to your carry. That would add 0.2 right off. So 2 strength or 10 intelligence raise your prowess by 0.2.
You mean 10 charisma? Okay, so I'm gonna go.
Charisma would have to add 10 points to 15 to give you a 4 prowess. Strength only has to add 2 points to 13.
Okay, and I get the 2 points by spending 1 character point.
Yes, you do, because it's starting at average.
And that puts me to prowess 4.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Bingo! There I go.
Okay.
All right.
You'll live with a low charisma.
Yeah.
You're an ugly guy.
So you might say that foregoing the intelligence boost was a no-brainer.
Charisma boost. It was a charisma boost. Jason was mixing it up. I've got size 13, strength 13, dex 15, constitution 18, intelligence 15, wisdom 15, charisma 6. I'm not a nice guy.
Not a nice looking guy, certainly. So you carry 304. We know your prowess is going to be 4.0 exactly. Okay, so then you have 3.6 for your command level. So let's see.
And what's my height?
What's your alignment? Your alignment is 11, right?
Yep.
And you're a knight. You have a 2.7 spirit. 2 mana.
2.7. Yep. 2 mana.
And you have a 6 sanity, exactly.
That ain't bad.
Yeah, it's not awful.
I've got a name.
You have a name?
Tostig.
You have 18 con, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you're starting with 11 body, and you're starting with 6 fatigue.
6 fatigue.
Wow.
Yeah. 17 through 19 con starts with +2 fatigue, and you're a knight, so you're starting with 6 fatigue.
And at
And
15,
God.
at 15 decks, oh man, I don't get a free dodge card.
you do not.
Yeah. I mean, if I had gotten a little bit better.
Yep.
You should have rolled better, Tony.
I should have. That would have been. Tom, you should have advised me to roll better. I was rolling.
There you go.
You had the opportunity. You didn't advise
I
me.
sent it to you, you know,
Right.
so you didn't.
You guys are thinking through skills, and remember we have a somewhat extended skill list to the one in the book. If you need to know about that, and then social status things, and wealth, and so forth.
Give me a second. I'll be right back. I have.
Yeah. So let's see.
What do you have for advantages? Advantage points, Tony?
I have 8. So
Yep.
I need to I need to buy at least an ability, right?
Yep.
Possibly higher an ability. So dispossessed or bastard. What does that do to your wealth?
It means you drop your social class for it by a full level.
I'm taking, Tostig is my inspiration. So a little, it's like I want to raise up a rebellion and, make an alliance with Harold Hardrada and invade England. But, I guess I wouldn't be dispossessed. So I'll just go normal on that. Legal position.
Yeah. You say if you're regular nobility, if you want to get the wealth too that can come with that, you have to spend 1 more point on normal wealth for your class.
On normal wealth for my class. Oh yes, I do.
Point is, normal isn't free. Normal costs 1. So if you want the full 2 wealth that ordinary nobility normally brings, you have to spend a total of 4 points on it.
And if I bought
You
higher nobility for 5,
you can have the nobility without the money, for only 2 if you're a poor noble.
okay,
But then you have only wealth 1.
But if I took higher nobility for 5,
yep,
and then I would then have to spend normal. I'd have to spend 6, and my wealth would be what, 3?
Yes. It would take 6 advantage points to be a higher noble with normal family status and normal wealth for your class. It wouldn't leave you much for starting stuff, but
what stuff? You said we don't need a horse.
Well, you would like to have a normal weapon and normal armor, unless you want to spend a lot of time sitting around using your wealth to gather things.
No, I don't. But
you have 8 advantages, right?
Yeah, I have 8 advantages, but.
Do you think that the starting arms and armor that you can get as a knight is going to be sufficient for you?
Then normal of each is 1, Tony. So correct. 1 for normal armor, 1 for normal weapon.
Yeah, and normal armor is scale. I think we've said.
I'm sorry.
I think we called normal armor scaled, but we were talking about changing it to brigandine.
Yeah, I think it's brigandine in this world at least, because there's many nations that don't even have scale, but. You would get Brigandine and War Axe are the things you could get for 2 advantage points.
Yeah, I'm just saying that we have the table is different. That's
I know.
Different. Yeah.
I know.
So we need to revise things. So it's
sure.
Brigandine and War Axe for normal. And
well, the point if you take normal armor, you would get not just Brigandine, a medium shield if you want it, and a Corinthian helm.
Right.
That's what a knight can get for 1 point. And then you could get a war axe, a mace, a short sword, or a spear as a normal weapon.
Mace.
No, I did that before. It didn't work very well. Now the other possibility is I could get better armor.
Yeah, the point is, if you don't spend on higher nobility till you start with wealth 3, you can probably start with improved stuff. Like you could start with a scale mail or a bronze cuirass if you wanted it, as well as gauntlets and greaves added. That's a 2-point advantage for a knight. If you want a sword, 2 points. but this is if you would probably drop down to just normal noble with normal for your class. That's wealth 2 instead of wealth 3. But you could start with some items that are more expensive than things you can buy for wealth 2.
Okay, so normal would be, so to be a noble and normal, that's 4.
Correct.
Right, and then that would allow me, do I need a horse? A horse would be 2.
I don't think you need a horse.
Well, if I don't need a horse, then that means if I don't need a horse,
You could get superior armor and normal weapon and have 1 advantage point left for something.
what else would I need it for? I don't need it for, this is a,
you can get deference from authorities. You could be known good reputation.
oh, that, well,
Parental favorite. Member of the military of your nation.
Okay, so that's an interesting point. All right, so I'm going to do nobility and normal for 4, which then gives me wealth 2, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Then superior armor. So, so that's bronze.
Yep, you can have bronze cuirass,
Corinthian helm.
as well as Corinthian helm, gauntlets and greaves, and a medium shield if you want it.
Gauntlets, greaves.
What you're fighting with.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. And then it's so deference from authorities and a normal weapon.
Yep.
Or, you know, I'm going to take deference from authorities, and I'm going to take a War Axe.
War Axe, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's sensible. You'll definitely, if you've got a prowess 4, a War Axe, and knightly great blows, you can definitely do a ferocious amount of damage. There's no question. Yeah. Or a great amount of damage rather than a ferocious amount of damage.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I like the deference from authorities. I think kind of plays well with my vision of Tostic.
Okay. Yep.
Prowess 4.
Definitely low on charisma, but people, the authorities,
people defer to me.
To cut things with your axe. You cut through the red tape, so to speak, or cut through the tape and make it red. All right, so you can think about your skills. You don't have many skill points tonight. You start with mounted combat, and you.
Yeah, but I'm neutral, so I have
demonic.
4 skills.
Sorry?
I'm neutral, so I get 4 skill points.
Yes, you do.
Yep. You can think about those.
Yeah, I will think about those while everybody else does their thing,
sure.
And I do.
So yeah, let's go to Thomas for your advantages. So you used all of your wildcard points, right?
Yes, they're all done, and so I have advantage points and I have skill points, and I already know.
And you're a good warrior, so you have 6 advantage points.
Yes, I have a question.
Sure.
So, what is the difference between normal armor and normal weapon versus superior armor and superior weapon for a warrior?
Well, right. If you looked in the rule book, Thomas, you would see. At the chart. It doesn't. You would see on page 25 a nice chart, and I happen to have this chart up.
If you want, it's things like war axes and short swords that are normal cost 2 weapons are superior weapons for a starting warrior, whereas javelin, spears, hand axes are typical starting weapons. So a normal weapon is usually javelin or spear, one-handed.
Sorry. Sorry. Can you do bound on this front? I already kind of know what I want to do, but I have to go do cat meds. I'm sorry.
Sure. Okay. So. Baron, you're a neutral barbarian, right?
Right, with 4 advantages.
All right, so what are you going to spend your 4 advantages on?
So
first.
Since I'm not going to need a horse.
Yep.
And wealth doesn't really play into the barbarian model. What would I spend advantage points on?
I mean, I think you probably want to wind up with wealth 1, and then the other things you want is just starting equipment, right? So you don't have that many advantage points to begin with, but if you want to start off with Falx or a Warhammer, anything that type, that's a superior weapon. It's going to cost 2. Just a normal weapon, a war axe or a spear, you can start with that for 1. So you probably want at least 1 on a starting weapon, because those are going to be, more expense than your wealth probably is, right?
Okay.
As for armor, if you want hard leather and a shield, that's actually superior armor for a barbarian. So if you spend on normal armor, you just have padded, and if you don't spend on armor, you're going to be no armor at all.
And what are my options if I have 2 on weapon?
Things like a Warhammer, a Falx. I think a Falx is rare in this world, but you can. The longbow. There's no. Basically, a two-handed hafted weapon is the answer to the question, right? So you could do things like a war pick. You could do things like a what else? I'm trying to think of the various other two-handed hafted weapons. I mean, the pole arm type things, but I don't think you want to do a pole arm type thing if you're starting at prowess 3. You're not going to be fast enough with it yet. So you want something with reasonable speed. I think that you might only want a normal weapon just because you're going to want to have reasonable starting speed, and you're only starting prowess 3.
Right. So normal weapon, normal armor, and what would I spend the last?
That would be 2, but I mean, there's a big difference between normal and superior armor as a barbarian. I mean, starting with pad versus starting with hard leather and shield is a.
Okay, so let's do. So I have 4 advantage points. 1 I'm spending on wealth. 1 I'll spend on the normal weapon, and 2 I'll spend on armor, which is
Superior
the hard
armor.
leather.
Yeah, hard leather and shield. And that way you could be a 3 commoner with normal wealth for your class, and that would give you a wealth 1.
Right. And so a normal weapon, the choices are what? Spear or javelin?
Spear, war axe, javelin one-handed, or 1 or 2-handed actually, sure. But
let's go with spear because I got the shield. I could carry 2 spears and use 1 as a missile weapon.
well, hang on. To be clear, the spear, as opposed to the javelin, is the heavier, longer one that's meant for thrusting and not for throwing.
Oh,
and it's only 6 blows. It's the slower one. Javelin is the one that's reasonably fast. Javelin is also something that's common equipment and only costs 1, though. So
yeah, that's what I'm spending. So
what I'm saying is that
I could buy those pretty easy.
Exactly. You could probably pick up a javelin with your wealth pretty easily. You probably want, if you want to spend an advantage point on a starting weapon, you probably want it to be a more potent weapon than a javelin. A javelin you can get.
Okay. How about a war axe?
Sure.
War axes are pretty nasty weapons.
Yeah,
they are.
Cutting,
so you would have war axe, hard leather, and shield. That's a good barbarian starting loadout. Yeah. Yep. All right. So that's your advantages. You can also think about what you want for your skills.
Yep.
And is Thomas back from cat stuff?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So we want to talk about your advantages. You had 6, right?
I have 6, and so I was considering professional and normal. What is the wealth I would have for professional and normal?
A guildsman professional has to be prosperous for class to get to wealth 2. Otherwise, guildsman professional who isn't prosperous for class is wealth 1.
So prosperous for class.
So it's basically 3 points to be a wealth 2 guildsman. Less expensive than ability because it doesn't have the same social advantages, but if you want wealth 2 as a commoner, you're spending 3 advantage points on it.
I'm sorry, I'm looking in wealth, prosperous for class. Got it. So it's 2 points and then 1 point.
Yep.
But I would have to spend 4 points. I would have to be prosperous for class. Oh no, I wouldn't be normal. Got it. Got it.
Yep.
And if I was professional and not normal, what would that be?
When you say not normal, I don't know what you mean.
Or? So there's no option. You have to either be normal.
You're either spending points or you're getting points on the wealth scale. You're never. There's no. There's
okay, so what's the difference
between?
What is the difference between professional normal and professional poor?
Professional poor would be. They would both be. Sorry, professional poor would be
0.
A 1.
1. Okay. So what is professional normal then?
It's still a 1. It doesn't make much difference for a professional. It makes a difference for a free commoner.
So professional
free commoner is 0, and a normal free commoner is a 1.
So professional poor would, instead of costing me 1, gain me 1.
It would gain you 1 for the poor part and cost you 1 for the professional part. You would wind up spending 0 for a wealth 1 person with some social status, but only wealth 1.
Okay, but that helps because that means poor professional with wealth 1 has 2 points to spend. I spend the other 4 points on superior weapon, superior armor. If I do that.
So you have a total of 6. Is that right?
I do.
Okay.
So the other option that is interesting, and I don't know if it's thematic for the campaign or not, is if I look in the wealth, possessions, and knowledge table, there are common magical items and uncommon magical items.
Yep. What is your spirit?
It's only 2.8, so I can't have any common, I think. Or I can't have either.
Well, you can't have an own magical practice until you get to Spirit 3.
Okay.
You can have components. An uncommon magical item would be one that is a magical item, and you would have it, but you wouldn't know how to use it. You wouldn't actually really be able to use it yet, but it would have some, sense or importance that you would discover later, but you wouldn't have the spirit to use it, at least until you leveled up.
Right, because if I have Spirit 2.8, I will level up at level 2 to 3.0. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
I kind of like that. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm switching over to where
You have a particular magic item in mind? Or do you want me to make it up?
I want to make it up because that's thematic.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm thinking is, I'm going to take superior armor, but a normal weapon. And the normal weapon that I'm going to take is a spear.
Full spear, not a javelin?
Yes, correct.
Yep, that works.
You can use a spear one-handed, correct?
You can, it's just slow.
Ooh. I'll go javelin.
Yeah, javelin's quicker.
I'll go javelin.
So you're going to have... So that means you'll have hard leather, shield, conical helmet, and javelin as your starting weapon loadout? Okay. And that's 3 points on your starting equipment. And then you want to spend 3 points on the uncommon magical item and then be a poor guildsman?
Correct.
With wealth 1?
Yes.
Okay.
All
right.
I found this thing. I don't know what it does.
So I have another suggestion for you, which is if you're about to be Spirit 3 and you're interested in a magical thing, you should be thinking about what you would. First of all, what's your intelligence?
Oh, jeez.
And what's your wisdom?
Wasn't one of them like 7?
Intelligence is 7 and wisdom is 14.
So the point is, if you do spirit things, you're going to be more likely to want to do religious rites than to do.
That's thematic because I'm good.
Yep. Yep. Your alignment 4 and high wisdom. So when you get to spirit 3, you're going to want to be doing something which is trying to do religious rites. So you should be thinking about which of the deities of Sopron you are a disciple of, and then the magic.
Which is the most good?
Hestia.
If it's Hestia, then I will.
There's multiple good deities. Enlil, Hestia, Pelon, Aaron all have aspects of good to them. Hestia is the one that's the more spiritually good.
I'm putting up the art.
Pelon is more like
Hestia.
the societally approved hierarchy good.
Pelon is more for the nobles, Thomas.
And Enlil is more like the mystical, priestly, ancient wisdom good, and Aaron is more of the earthy, compassionate good.
It will be Enlil because I have skills that I thought of that might dovetail into that.
Okay, so you want to be a disciple of Enlil, yes?
I do.
Okay.
Because I've got some common normal skills, but I've over-indexed on one that would be interesting.
Okay, so
well, I'm going to pull up the Enlil art. So
yeah,
no, that's Aaron. That's wrong.
So I mean, Enlil's in terms of religious rites does mostly the very traditional things of like blessing, good fortune, purification, cleansing, enlightenment, humility. Those are the normal things that Enlil is kind of about, and he's usually thought of by some as being, distant from earthly things, and the reason for that is there aren't a lot of, affect this world rites for it. So besides the one I just mentioned, also visions.
Ooh, interesting.
Visions is not like seeing distant things. It is gaining sanity or wisdom and reducing alignment.
Well, okay, so tell me about Hestia then.
Well, so hold on, wait, let me finish because Jason sort of skimmed over one thing.
Sure.
So the description of Enlil that we have in Free Havoc is he's the Sky Father, oldest of the gods of Sopron, and to his devotees the highest deity, regarded by most as distant and passive, and therefore not much attended to, but respected by all. So I have Enlil's art up, and just by way of contrast, so every other god except the Sky God, we personified the god. For Enlil, what you see is his temple.
Yep. So I have a question. So which do you think would be more thematic, Hestia or Enlil? If I over-index on spending 3 skill points on folklore and legends.
Probably Enlil.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Hestia is a more this-worldly good. I mean, abundance, love, glamour, burial, enlightenment, all those sorts of things.
That's not this character.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So Enlil it is.
And in Free Havoc, what we have is Hestia in the bottom left of the page, Pelon above her, Pelon being the sun god, Hestia, the goddess of the hearth. To the right, there's Selene, and then at the bottom is Arcturus, who we all,
of course,
know and
we know him well.
know quite well. And there's a description with each god's icon in Free Havoc. So Enlil, okay.
Yes.
Way to go, Thomas.
So skill-wise, obviously I'm spending 3 of my 6 points on folklore and legends, but I'm also going to do wilderness survival as 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm deciding between the 3 remaining things I'm going to spend 1 on to pick the 2 I want to live. I will do nav orienteering and hunting trapping, and I will give up my merchant marketplace idea.
So orienteering. What was the other one?
It's going to be wilderness survival 1, nav orienteering 1, hunting trapping 1, and then folklore and legends 3. So I'm master in folklore and legends.
Got it. So you're a master of folklore and legends. normal of 3 of the useful outdoor survival skills. You're saying?
Correct. I want to be
Yep.
a dork about something, and I want to be helpful on other things.
Yep. Okay. Got it. And you're not going to have a lot of intelligence about those legends, but you're going to have plenty of wisdom about them.
Exactly. That's what I'm going with.
Understood. Okay. Interesting character. I like it. So I still have to figure out what your starting item is going to be. But okay, so
I'll leave that to you.
Yep. So Tony, did you finish your skills?
I have some options for discussion I want to kind of work
Sure.
through. So
Yep,
first,
sure.
since we're trending towards Ronar, I want to be able to speak Elvish.
Okay, sure.
So that's a
good idea.
All right.
That's handy.
Fine idea.
Yeah. Secondly, you and I have talked about leadership.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm assuming charisma is the modifier on leadership.
Yes, it is.
So refresh my memory what leadership skill does.
What leadership skill does is it makes it easier to hire and keep companions than another person of your charisma, but low charisma makes the companions more likely to leave, right? So normally when you're trying to retain a companion at the end of a month at a DCR, right, you have to make a roll for them to stay, and your charisma modifier makes it more likely for them to leave. Leadership lets the first person that's the first person that's your chosen companion, you don't have to check for them. And if you have Master of Leadership, you also get -1 for the wealth retention costs of your companions.
You don't need companions.
But leadership is definitely very much focused on the companion side of things. And with a Charisma 6 guy in this campaign, I don't know that you want to focus on the leadership side of things. But unless you want to go against your charisma and say, I'm the tough guy that people follow, even though he's
mad, sir. He's mad.
I know you haven't read Game of Thrones, but there is a character in Game of Thrones with a low charisma who is.
But who's the leader? Yeah, I get it.
Well,
and because
this isn't that
leadership
character,
does get you.
But say again.
Because the leadership does get you like one sticky companion, right? You still piss everybody else off, right? You'll still have poor reaction rolls, whatever, from low charisma. But if you have someone who is your companion, he's your one chosen companion, he won't leave if you have leadership, even though he would for your charisma otherwise.
Can you change that at every DRC?
In terms of who your core companion is?
Yes.
Yes, it has to be someone who's currently
hired,
paid for. But yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, by the way, I'm in this weird situation of having so many skill points I'm not used to having as a knight. So, because when you're good, you don't get any.
Because you're neutral.
Right. So then,
playing good knights that have no skills. Yeah.
The other options that I'm considering are negotiation.
It's a good idea.
And the question is whether I go master on any or I'm a jack of all trades.
With the number of skill points you have, I would go for rep. I would not go for master or something.
Yeah, okay. That's sort of all right. That's kind of along the lines of what I was thinking. All right, so I'm gonna take Elvish. I'm gonna take leadership. I'm gonna take orienteering because I don't want to get lost. Mm-hmm. And then 1, 2, 3, and then that leaves 1 left over, and I'm waffling between something a little on the devious side. Let me scroll through it, like trickery.
Ooh, interesting.
Because you're worldly, you mean?
Yes.
Because you have 11 in alignment, right? Just above the threshold, right?
Yeah, trickery, lying, the ability to get information or items of value for. I'm going to take trickery. Because either that, negotiation, or treat wounds, but all that other shit's a little too honest.
Have you thought about if you want something on the less honest side with your 6 charisma? Have you thought about disguise?
That's also a good idea.
I did think about
to
that.
Attempt to pass as another nation in alignment for reactions, and it might fit with you covering up a hideousness.
I did think about that.
It's not a bad idea.
But then I was wondering, is that too low
No.
for a knight?
No, you're adapting to the
There's
situation.
plenty of knights who never take their helmet off, right?
That is true. I will go with disguise then, because honestly, that was one of the first things I was thinking about, and I discounted it
Yep.
because of the knightliness. But yeah, this is kind of like, the Black Knight.
I think disguise, exactly.
Ivanhoe.
Disguise is more knightly than trickery to me. But,
Yeah.
You're just
I agree.
an average knight for hire.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a good set. Baron, have you thought about your skills?
So I have tracking automatically, and I
Correct.
speak Charon's automatically. I'm going to speak Demotic, that's 1 point. Wilderness Survival is a point, and Healing is a point. So I have 4 more left.
By healing, you mean treat wounds, right?
Yeah, treat wounds, that's what I meant.
Yep.
4 more, holy shit.
Yeah, you have a total of 7, and so how many have you used so far?
3.
Okay,
so
you have 4 more.
Are there weapon skills? I forgot.
No.
There's skills in crafting things.
Oh,
That's the only thing related to it. Is like armor-like skills you can get for skill points, like craft common equipment.
Probably not going to come up. So,
you are a relatively poor barbarian, right? And so I don't know if that might matter.
Yeah, but common items would only cost me $1, and I have $1. So
you can only buy common items for $1 if you're ending your move at a settled location where there's a nice market to give you the common item. So you might in this campaign you might get to do that 3 times if you're lucky.
But I'm starting with a kit.
Right. If you're starting with full kit, you might not need it. I'm just saying that if you were asking if there were things related to weapons, and the answer is only for skills. Only the crafting side of things are skills. I'm not saying you have to do it, but that's the answer to your question. The only thing that is skill-like about weapons is the ability to make them.
Interesting.
So
right, and just to be clear, the weapon skill, Baron, is implemented through prowess.
Yeah.
Right.
So what do you guys think a barbarian would like?
I mean, barbarians usually have things like some of the outdoor survival skills, some of the things like hunting and trapping, fishing, tracking.
I don't think that makes any sense.
Concealment.
I think what he should do is he should double down. He should be a master of poetry and performing arts.
Deep person.
Didn't you get a pretty high intelligence and wisdom?
Me?
10.
Yes.
Oh, you're 10 or 10. Somebody had a 15 on the both.
Me.
That's
yeah.
That's Tony.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to
sing and dance. Change one of my skills.
We'll take hunting and trapping. That's 4, and 3 more points.
I mean, you can think of, is there one thing you want to make really thematic for you and be a master of it? Or do you just want to have a bunch of others? None of you currently have concealment. That's one of the things to get you.
That's a good one.
Concealment would only apply to me, though.
No, you can hide other
it's
people.
just that you can try to conceal any group of people. It's just if there's more people to conceal, it's a harder task check.
But we have no horses,
which makes it easier compared to when you have horses. You also could have traveling culture because you're all the way from Charon's. That wouldn't be crazy to. It mitigates against the foreigner, NPC negative DRMs.
Okay, that works thematically.
Yeah.
So I'll pick travel and culture. I've spent 5 so far.
Do you have treat wounds?
I do have treat wounds.
I do too.
I could spend 2 more points to make it mastery of treat wounds.
I don't know about that.
I think if you're not going to go all the way to the surgery and you're not becoming a physiker, I would just leave treat wounds at normal. You're not going to get much more mastery with the skills you have.
I agree.
I could get another language.
Climbing.
Climbing language.
And did you take wilderness
climbing's
survival?
not crazy.
Climate
He hasn't
is
taken
good.
Wilderness Survival yet. He hasn't taken Wilderness
I
Survival
did,
yet, right?
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, okay,
Wilderness
okay.
survival. So I've
Um,
He and I both have it.
speak demotic, wilderness survival, treat wounds, hunting, and travel culture.
That's
Got it.
5.
So let's
Yeah,
take
that's
climb,
a good set. That's good. Yep.
and
It's
then
either
there's one
climbing
more.
or orienteering,
You
right?
might you might also, even though you don't currently have it, I mean, you could take mounted combat because you are from Terrans, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that you're going to use it here, but just character thematically, mounted combat is something a barbarian from Terrans would have.
So, oh wait, I have a question.
It's not a min-max thing to do. It's just a character thing to do.
All right, I'll take it. Mounted combat.
Yeah.
Whoa,
hold on, wait, it's mini
maxing. You gotta do that.
I'm not min-maxing.
Oh man, now
I'm
we're gonna
thematic.
I have a
lose.
question.
We're gonna
Theming.
lose.
Okay.
Jason, am I
Yes.
able to, am I allowed to pick any religious skill?
Not yet. You need to get to
3?
3 spirit. That's right.
Damn
So
it.
at level 2, you're going to be able to.
All right, that's fine. That's okay.
Yeah.
No, I just,
It's obviously great if you can start with them, but honestly, it's pretty hard for the 3 fighting oriented people without any class bonus in spirit to get to starting magical ability, unless they have quite high intelligence or something like that, and you don't.
and
So
I don't, and that's fine, and it will mean
it's
that,
your low alignment and high wisdom that's making it possible for you to get there, but it's going to be a little bit, right?
no,
and-
and that's thematic, and I'm fine
Yeah.
with that. Yep.
So you understand about religious skills. I mean, normally if you make a level that lets you take a skill, you can take it as a religious skill, but as a fighter, you're not going to be getting that until quite a few levels on, because your first few are going to be combat skills.
Yeah.
The other way that you can learn religious skills is by going to temple of your actual yes, and trying to learn them at that temple. It's something you can do at a temple to try to learn a religious skill if you have the sufficient spirit for
I
it.
don't think I'm going to do that in this campaign.
You don't know. You could level up to 2 and come across someplace.
It's possible, but less likely. That's fine. I know what I will do if presented the opportunity.
Yep. Okay. And you have some uncommon item, right?
An uncommon magic item that I can't use until I can actually get to Spirit 3. But I will figure it out. There's something special about this.
Wait, you can't use the magic item yet?
Well, he doesn't have
I don't know
spirit.
what it does.
He doesn't have spirit 3 yet, but we haven't even figured out what the item is yet. So I gave him the option of him deciding, but
Nope.
Well,
I'm
is it
preferring-
something? I'm just curious.
I am
In terms of the
preferring
magic item that he's picked, would this be drawn like from the component deck, or
well, I am looking at the component deck for inspiration, but also things from the actual. Another thing that would often be used here is things from the quests associated with the full campaign, but this is a mini campaign, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit harder.
right. No quests in the mini campaign?
There's only the overall campaign quest. There's
Yeah,
not a
right.
there's not a separate set of
I
7
suppose
major
one
quests.
could take a quest, but we don't have them designed for the mini campaign. So.
Well, right. So I'm throwing a curveball because that's what I do. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's testing.
So I have a good idea, but give me a second to look something up here.
It's totally fine.
Yep.
I'm going to scroll down since you're looking at that. I'm just going to scroll through Free Havoc, through some of the magic cards that we have in there, which don't apply to any of us.
Wait, go back up. Sorry. A little bit more. The next page. I love that. The art.
Yeah, that's the art for the poison card and cursed.
I know. I love it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That is Megvin Jovari, who is fantastic.
He's so good. I know.
Yep. This was Megvin too, actually. We use a lot of Megvin, but
I know you do.
yeah. So let's see, religion. I want to go down to this is the map excerpt, and I'm just going to talk through what Jason is digging. So in Free Havoc, you have like a little excerpt of the map. Now, we have a pretty large map, and that's sort of the full thing. And I think, you know, this has been posted in various places, and pieces of it have been posted out. And the idea, of course, is that for the TTRPG that we're developing, you know, it's bigger than what is shown in Free Havoc. Free Havoc is just an excerpt, and this gives you the names for certain excerpts or certain spots on the excerpt, you know, a little bit there, and then we actually give art.
I love the art.
Yeah, so some of these are Megvin, some of these are Liza. And Liza is a little bit shy, does not have a social media presence. And let me skim through that. So Doom Clock, the Doom card. So we're starting a mini campaign, playtesting mini campaign tonight, or we're starting, these are the characters, and we're going to get into it. So with the TTRPG that we've got under development for use with Havoc, the combat card game, what we use is a Doom Clock mechanic for each of the campaigns. So the campaign that we have previewed in Free Havoc is the first couple stages of what we call the Curse of Kakadin campaign. And so each campaign has roughly 20 cards, 20 Doom cards, and these are plot points in an overall epic fantasy campaign. And then players have to respond to them. And so in Free Havoc itself, what we have are the first 3 Doom cards for one campaign, which is the Curse of Kakadin campaign. That's a large campaign with some 20 Doom cards in it. We also have some mini campaigns. One is Escape from Salavans, which we've talked about in our Kickstarter and elsewhere. And the other one is one that we're just starting tonight, which is tentatively titled A Faerie Rescue. And the mini campaigns are, you know, 5, 6 Doom cards, whereas the larger campaigns are 20, 21 Doom cards. And sometimes these cards have, or the Doom cards have offshoots. So there might be, say, 20 core Doom cards, but there may be variations. So it may be like Doom card 15 may have, you know, a variation or two. There can be some.
Can I comment?
Yeah, good.
Everybody should play Escape from Salavans because it's awesome.
Yeah.
Just do it. Don't stop, don't think, just do it.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Great.
That was a tough one. And we got all the way to the end, and then we died. But, you know, so sometimes that happens.
But it was exciting.
It was very exciting. You know, the nice thing about the mini campaign, you can play it in a session or two, because, you know, you're talking 5 or 6 Doom cards. And so, I mean, you could play it in like a long day if you guys get together, you know. Like when we were particularly game heavy, we'd get together at 11 o'clock or noon and go into the early hours of the morning. So you might be able to finish it in a, you know, one day of heavy gaming. But it's a very accelerated, and then that one in particular is like a resource limited campaign. So you're really hamstrung. You're escaped slaves on the run from a bunch of ogres and goblins, and, you know, like actually this campaign we have all kinds of stuff. In the last mini campaign that we did, we had nothing. We had like clubs. Yeah,
we were lucky to have clubs.
Yeah. So some more on the NPC reaction, and all this is Free Havoc, which you get for free by joining our email list.
Those are 2 of my favorite pieces of art right there.
Yeah, this is the art. So that's Grenar on the left, a troll. And on the right, that's Ferris, an ogre lord. Both of those were done by Tanya Podolskaya, who is an amazing artist who's done. Actually, she did these. She did a bunch of art for us. She also did a lot of the female. I think she did all of the female combat action cards.
Oh, nice.
Quite a talented artist. And we had her illustrate. We brought her back to finish some of the Escape from Salavan stuff. and she illustrated.
Some of those female CACs are really good.
Oh, she's just fantastic. Great sense of movement. And we put out in the Kickstarter, we put out posts on some of her, like the evolution of her style. This is another Megman special of the
so was she the one who did all of the what do you call it? Like she almost used still skeletons to sort of frame.
Yeah, she did. It's like they're like those little artist statues that you see, at, Hobby Lobby or whatever. It's like that, but it's a computer version of it, and she would animate them so that you could use them to. I'll see if I can find one and put it up, so that you can see where. Like she maneuvered the picture and that sort of thing. So I don't know. I don't know if I can find anything quickly.
No, don't worry about it. Yeah. I'm just calling out that all of that is great. Highly appreciated. Super.
So, Thomas, I've decided what I want to start you with in terms of an item.
Here, I've got it up right there.
Just as an outgrowth of your fascination with legend lore, right? So you have an item that you don't quite know what it is, but it's you think it's an elven cloak. It's a cloak, but you're not sure where it's from or what it does. But you do know that you think you look really good in it, and other people seem to think so too. But you're not sure quite why.
I'm okay with that. That's great.
It's just an elven cloak that you find seems to make people react to you better.
That's great. Yes, I'll go with that. Mark it down.
All right. And again, that's you found it as an ancient thing, as an outgrowth of your legend lore investigations. Okay, so where are you guys starting? Yes, so you guys are all assembled at the dwarven city of Durbant. That's 35 on your map.
I can't see that. Hold on. I have to zoom in. Hold on a second.
So
zoom in.
It's the place where the 1LP 456 unit is positioned.
Yep, and I've got the location card up from Free Havoc. It's
there. Okay, okay.
If you look at page 51, you'll see the location card up there.
Yep, you're at the city of Durbant. That shows you the various things you can do
there.
I
have to step out for a quick moment. I will be back in a minute.
What number is it? 30, 35?
35. Yep, 35. And as Tony says, yes, it is one of the things which is shown as an illustration in the Free Havoc book. So on page 51, right? So you can get full recovery and full food there, but you have to be reasonably wealthy to do so. It has a large, rich market.
I see it now.
You can find components there. There is a temple there as well. You can get quests there, and you can fight a higher companions, which is only requires wealth 1 and a charisma task check to try, but you draw 2 command which requires the higher ones. It's a pretty good place to hire companions. And it's one of the,
damn.
Yeah, and because it's a dwarven market too, this means that a lot of the more advanced armors in the game are actually available here.
Yeah.
Things like chainmail and great helms and so forth are actually made in Jerorum. So all of that is just where you're starting, but why you're starting. So you're assembled here because you've been commissioned with a task by Duke Alfdane of Sopron, right? One of his younger sons, a young man named Verdan, was sent to be raised by the dwarves as like a cultural exchange for nightly training, etc. But he's kind of a headstrong young man, and he doesn't seem to be taking too much to knightly things. At any rate, he has now gone missing from his ward. So he was last seen at Serjan, which is to the north at 39. And the Duke's men have recruited all of you to determine what happened to his son and to recover him. They're going to give you a full gold and money as ransom for him, and a letter from the Duke that has been sealed by the King of Chororum, asking that all measures be taken to aid you. So this acts as a favor that can be reused over and over again anywhere in Chororum and Ronar without being expended. And it's the start of spring. So they promise you that if you bring back his son, that each of you can get anything that you can find in the city of Derbent. That means, without regard to price, anything you can find in its markets.
Wow. Holy shit.
But just one item each. And then, in addition, you will each also get a favor. A favor that can be used anywhere in Ronar, Chororum, or Sopron.
And a gold.
Sorry.
No, the gold is entrusted to you as ransom for the young Verdan. So if it needs to pay it to ransom him. If you don't, then you have to ransom him. They expect you to return it, but what you do with it is partly down to your alignment. But anyway, that they've entrusted it to you.
So which one is Serjan? Is it 36 or 39?
39. 39 to the north through the mountains. North
so
through the mountains.
One that in the case of the Kursak Academ is the one that's...
This is currently a perfectly thriving ordinary dwarven city.
And the city of Serjan location card is on page 52, and I've got it up.
Yep. It also has a rich market. It doesn't have quite as many facilities, doesn't have components and so forth. And it has only minor quests, not major quests. And it doesn't have a temple, but it's still a significant dwarven city. Anyway, the Duke's men, Duke Alfdane's men, advise you to travel to Serjan first to discover what you can about the young lord's whereabouts. They don't think that Verdan is, he's been a bit rebellious. You understand he's a teenage boy who's been entrusted to be raised by foreigners, and he's kind of rebelled against the training he's under. But he was last seen at Serjan. Nobody knows where he is.
So fastest way to Serjan is either 1, 2, 3, all on mountains.
There's no other way, honestly. There, you basically have to cross the mountains of Chororum to get there, and that's going to be a mountain travel. The last one, although you're traveling over mountain, you're going to a city, but you're going to have to go through 2 mountain encounter cards to successfully make it. So that means things like orienteering and so forth will be helpful. It is, however, the start of spring, so this is not like too onerous a task like crossing in winter. But crossing mountains you can be delayed. Things like that can happen to you.
So we're starting at 35, and we got to get to 39.
Correct. Correct.
Ooh, that's
post haste.
That's actually okay. So it's 1, 2. It's 3 moves.
Yes.
If you're not delayed, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot there was that little itty bitty connection between 35 and the round node to its northwest.
The remaining things that are on the inciting incident card are, in this mini campaign, DCR, Doom Card Reckoning, occurs every 4 turns, not every 8 turns. And at the first DCR, reveal card 200. This inciting incident is card 100.
So first DCR is what?
4 turns away.
Yeah.
That's like a month.
After that.
Sorry?
So you said after the first DCR card.
At.
Okay.
At the first DCR, 4 turns from now, we're automatically going to reveal card 200. Right? So the inciting incident has a successor card, 200, that will be revealed at DCR. In addition, when you reach Serjan, reveal card 300. So something is going to happen when you get to Serjan, and something is going to happen at DCR. Both those things will happen when those events occur. You don't know if it's important if one of them happens before the other, but they're both going to happen.
So we could conceivably get to Serjan, and then one card gets revealed, and then another card gets revealed a turn later.
Correct. And these are only extensions of the inciting incident. They're not full Doom cards. At DCR, there will also be a new Doom card.
Oh my god.
This isn't the Doom card. So something is going to be revealed at the first DCR of the whole mini campaign, in addition to the ordinary random Doom card.
Oh,
This card is thematic for the whole campaign, will always be in effect. The other one is going to be just you've gone to Serjan on your journey and you find out what you find out there about Verdan.
So,
But there will also be, as in all campaigns, every DCR there is a Doom card, and it's a random Doom card. You don't know which one it is, but it's one of the ones that's in this campaign.
so who else has nav orienteering?
Me.
That's me.
Me.
Okay. And so what is the modifier for nav orienteering task checks?
Well, the basic thing is there's many things on the encounter cards which will say that this is an orienteering task check, and if you have the skill, then you can pass it. If you don't have the skill, then it's -4 to pass it. If you're a master of it, +4 to pass it. Sometimes it will say it's an orienteering hard task check, and then it's 15 if you have the skill, and it's 11 if you're a master of it.
Right, so typically no other modifiers other than being master or journeyman or not having it at all.
Well, those are the main ones, but there usually are intelligence is the ordinary attribute that determines how good you do at orienteering.
Okay, so Tony should be taking us to Serjan, not me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I have 7 intelligence, you have 15.
Yes.
Yep. Yes, so that's a 2 difference. Yeah.
I will say
Tony is a better land navigator than you are. You're both better than someone who's untrained, but he's also smarter at it.
He's way smarter at it.
Yeah.
He's DRM2 smarter at it, but yes. To be precise. Okay. So your options here are to set out immediately or to hang around in this city for a turn, trying to get extra things besides the starting equipment that you have and so forth. You guys can make that call, but
I see no point in hanging around unless you guys.
So I have a weapon.
I agree.
I have armor. But we should proceed at once.
okay.
We move.
So you guys all have
north
full
to
foods.
Alaska.
You all have 4 food. You've got your ordinary wealth and so forth. You've got the other starting thing that you have. One of you should say that you are in possession of it. Is the letter. I would suggest Tony, because he's the noble with deference from authorities of Sopron.
Yep.
So he's probably the person here who's. Doesn't matter. He's the person here who's most likely the Duke's agent in all this. So the point is, one of the things that you have that you were given for this quest is a letter from the Duke with the signet ring of the King of Charorum on it that says, do everything to aid these people, and it acts as a favor anywhere in Sopron or Ronar. So somebody has to have that letter, and I'm suggesting that it's Tony.
Well, he's a noble, and he has, he has other.
Yes, I think it's a no-brainer. Now, as to the gold piece, I think I should also retain it.
Wait, what? Okay. No. I am the pious one. I will not lead you astray. I am
the pious one is grasping after the money. Doesn't care about the favor, but just the money.
Thomas, you're not acting good. You're not acting good when you're doing that money grubbing.
I am trying to keep you on the straight and narrow.
I think that Tony is going to have the money. All right, so you guys have agreed that your first thing you're going to do is to set out to the northwest. My only other question is, how are people fixed for time? Because we've gotten our characters, we've gotten our exciting incident, and all that stuff. I would love to get underway, but you guys can tell me if you.
I'm okay time. For a little bit. Yep.
Yeah, I'm okay for a bit.
Yeah, let's press ahead.
All right.
Do it.
Wonderful. All right. So I have a wilderness encounter card.
Uh-oh. Who's leading the party?
I thought you said that you are.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
You have everything. You have it all.
I'm going to die at the first encounter.
Okay. So you're moving northwest. You're in Chorum, so you're not in this card's first thing is, are you in Salah? The next thing is it winter, but it's actually spring? Are you in forest? No, you're not. Are you in clear or swamp? No, you're not. So you had a no event, which
the dreaded
a good
no
thing.
event.
A good thing to have happen when you're traveling to the mountains. And Tony, you must now roll for recovery, and you've got -6 on this because you're in a mountain. You're in a mountain in spring, which is -4, -2. Sorry, before we get to that, someone can try to do wilderness survival.
Oh, well,
what is the modifier for wilderness survival?
Con.
Con?
Constitution.
Down, what do you have for con?
Doesn't someone have an 18 con? I don't know if Tony has wolf.
I have an 18
9
Constitution. I do not have
I
wilderness
was talking
survival.
on mute. I have 16. Con.
Got it. So Barrent has wilderness survival and 16 con. Is that right?
Yes.
All right.
So I'm
So
rolling
you
two.
need the 2 die 10 on the left, and you
Right.
need a total roll of 9.
Got a 12.
Okay. So you get an experience, and everybody's going to get +4 in recovery rolls this location. That will counteract the mountain, but not the spring. So the now Tony is leading the party.
So what do I need to roll?
Is rolling with -2 for recovery. All
10.
right. So that's an 8. So if you don't have a Constitution bonus, you are tired.
I'm tired.
If you have +1 or +2, you are fatigued.
What's +2?
Oh, so I'm fatigued.
+2 is 16.
So what's
So
an 18
You said
Constitution?
+1 or +2?
An 18
sorry?
Constitution is nothing.
Sorry.
18 Constitution is +2.
+1 or +2?
Yes, you need +3 to get to full fatigue.
And if you have neither of those, and you are
Then you're tired.
all right, I'm tired. Okay.
Yep. So I think the high Constitution people have half your fatigue and no recovery, and
I'm tired.
and you're tired. But other than that, you made it through the first of these. I'm going to do a little thing on an off map to record that we are in the first month of the campaign, first season of the campaign.
Your average ogre who wants to kill you because you smell. You are now dead.
I'm going to go to the turn tracker at the back of the book.
All right. All right, so for your next move, same leadership and going north, right?
To Alaska.
Don't you think we should change leadership?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
No.
Are you in Sopron or Harmia? You are not. Is it summer or are you in winter? Sorry, summer or forest? No. All right, you have no event.
The dreaded
no
event.
So this is another wilderness survival. I think it's still Barrent, right?
Yep. Okay, there I go.
We're together, I suck.
7.
Oh my god.
No, that was not a success. So recovery is -6.
Do we each roll? Or
Tony rolled a 9, right?
Oh, yep. So I'm dead.
So I think everybody in the party has exposure. So everyone is tired and everyone lost 1 body.
My god.
But you're about to make it, so that's as bad as it was. You honestly had a pretty easy passage because you didn't get delayed, and you're all tired, and you all lost 1 body.
And we didn't get attacked by a giant ogre, or.
But we're now down 2 food, right?
You're down 2 food, and you're down 1 body each. For the next one, although it's across a mountain thing, you're landing in a settled location. So before we get there, same leadership, or do you want to change up leadership?
Yes.
So, wait. So who has? It's another dwarven city we're going to, right?
Yes, we're going to a dwarven city.
So he has So Tony has the letter, but what is his charisma?
Charisma is very bad.
So take into account his charisma and the letter, and what is his modifier?
I don't know. Depends what you're asking about.
Okay, so Tony, what is your charisma? 6,
which is -2.
But he has a letter, which is probably 2, so he's
It's
even.
it's actually more, it's actually the favor is more like +4.
Oh, so he's +2. So I would not be better than him. I only have a charisma of 15 with no letter. So he's probably still right.
Yeah. Okay. So he's still reading.
Yes.
Fine.
Yep.
All right.
By
So
the way,
you
do I
are
get
going
experience
to.
points for what I went through?
Sorry.
Do I get any experience points?
No.
You each get 1 experience point now for exploring a new location as you come to Surgeon.
So John has double the experience, and Tony has half the experience.
Okay, so the next thing, there's going to be some special things that happen here for the cards and so forth, but you also are just having an ordinary settled encounter with this place. So give me a second.
I've got the Surgeon card up on the screen.
Yeah, but this is the settled encounter card first.
Sure.
Rich.
Yep.
Quest reminder. +1 charisma task pick. Draw 1 contain.
Okay, so
It's very nice.
the card is drawn. Give me a second.
It's quite nice.
Okay.
Danger. Alarm.
So interesting. Wow.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
Great.
That's either really good or
King,
not.
Or really bad.
King Darius of Shororum is visiting this town at the same time that you are.
What?
Wow.
He is an influenced Devon personage. So, Tony, what's your command level?
3.6.
Okay, and you get +1 for the fact that you're a noble. So you have a 4 influence. He's a 7.
I have deference from
But he has
authorities.
letter.
Does that help me?
Here's the letter.
You could. We'll get to that. So you're starting off as three below him. You have deference from authorities. You got your charisma working against you. You have your letter working for you. So far, you're at even. But you're also in a. You're not in an enemy nation. You're not in the same nation. You're not the same or the opposite alignment because you're neutral. So you're having your net interaction with him is flat 0. You're just rolling the dice.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Jesus Christ, really?
10.
Did you roll them?
Yeah.
Nope, you missed it. Missed it.
Yep. Okay.
Had your chance. Muffed it.
It's the damn algorithm for Vassal. This would be completely different if I actually rolled physical dice.
Yes.
I need an 01.
So you have to either use a favor, pay a silver, or you can't use the location. Is what it says.
Oh,
Well, we have a renewable favor, so I'll
that's true.
pull out the letter.
Yes. Yes.
I'll say, booyah! You're letting us in.
Yes. You're not the king isn't giving you anything, but his own pass lets you in. Because he says yes, that's my seal. Okay. So, but that means you still are allowed to do things at the location. And the next thing we have to get to is you have reached Surgeon, right?
Yep.
So we reveal card 300, which tells you the locals tell you that Verdun went missing while hunting in the hills to the west, whose cloak and pack were discovered in the woods with no sign of the young lord. They tell you to seek Aurea, a great elven diviner-ish, that is, a female diviner, at Valinus, that's 43, who they say knows how to read the stars to locate missing items and people, and suggests you travel there and seek her counsel. He's a great friend and ally of the King of Chororum, and should help you win your mission given your letter. So, and this card also tells you if you get to Valanas, you reveal card 400. So you've been told the next stage of your quest is over there, and you've also been told that the space one to your west in the wooded hills is where Verdun was last seen.
Well, I think we go there.
Okay. Yeah, it seems likely. But in addition to that, you guys can do things in the town. Now you're also going to have, after you do things in the town, you're going to have a recovery roll. One of the options to do things in the town is to try to recover. That's the rest thing in the upper left, since you are all tired and down a body. But some of you may have high enough constitution that you don't care about that and want to do something else in the town.
Yeah, I've got the City of Surgeon card up, modest door of a town. So just to orient people the 6 or 7 people who are watching, shout out to Discord Matt. We've got 4 options that you can have here in this location. So you can do rest, and if you have wealth 2, you get full recovery and full food. You can do a quest, and at this place you can only draw a minor quest. It's an intelligence task check, and you can draw 1 minor quest. You could also go to the market, and you could buy a fresh pig, or you get to fan out a number of cards, depending on the size of the market. And the last thing you can do is you get a minion. You can hire minions.
Try to hire minions, yes.
Try to hire minions. That's a charisma task check. And
this one is only draw 1 companion.
Yeah.
Take it or leave them.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty good place for a market and for rest, and not so good for other things.
Yeah. I'm
One of the things about market is if you go to a market, you'll turn up the number of items there. The first person that goes there will see them all. You always can, if you don't find something you want there, you can always try to get a common item, which is available in any place where there are markets, like a hand axe or something like that. That's available in lots of places. The other thing is, if some of the items that appear in the market are items that aren't at this location, and another person goes to the market, they'll be wiped and replaced. But otherwise, they'll stay there until they're bought, or the doom cycle, and then they'll be wiped, which is next turn.
I'll go to the market because I don't think I'm going to get a companion with my whopping 6 charisma, and I'm not really concerned about. Hold on, how far are we from food? Hold on, wait. Let me back up for a second. We are 1, 2. We're 3.
You're spending down to 1 food right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna get full food.
Okay.
I don't really care about going to the market.
Okay. So Tony is going to be full recovery, so he's rested, he's back to full body, and he has 4 food. Baron, what do you want to do?
I think we all have to do that, because, I mean, I don't need rest necessarily, but I need food.
Yeah, but if 2 of you do that, you'll have 9 food between you.
All right. So how about I go to the market then?
So which of you wants to go to the market? Which of you is most important to go to a market?
Well,
Maybe you.
Baron could probably get the best. I mean, there's a possibility of a decent weapon that Baron could get, but Baron has no money, right?
Right. Baron is only wealth 1.
Right.
So
Thomas should go. Thomas should go to the market, unless you want to get some javelin.
Well, I have a javelin.
No, I'm talking to Baron.
And
Oh, gotcha.
Sit down. Yeah, Thomas, aren't you also wealth 1? Or you wealth 2?
I am.
You're wealth 1. The only person with high wealth here is you, Tony.
So really, I
could
could get food, and you could go to the market, Tony.
But he probably doesn't need anything. And remember, even if he has more money, he has to spend only 1 less than his wealth if he's buying it for something for anyone else. So it's probably 6, 1, half dozen another. The real question is who needs anything or wants anything from the market. I think Tony is pretty well set for what he wants and needs, unless he wants a new.
I wanted to go to javelin.
Got it. So let's have Baron be the one that go to market then.
Right, that's thematic.
All right. So Baron goes to market,
right,
and
I buy
the
a
items
javelin.
turned up are Rees, which is present, Bronze Cuirass, which is not, Hardened Leather, which is present, and Falx, which is not. So hard leather or greaves for 2.
Nope.
And then any common items.
A javelin.
All right, you have that one. Cost 1.
What, you sure you don't want a quarterstaff?
Hand axe, dagger, short bow, quarterstaff, spear that costs 2, clubs, slings, iron armor that costs 2, small and medium shields, comic helmets that cost 2, provisions, climbing gear, survival gear.
I'm gonna take a club. I'm gonna take a club.
So, did you go to the market, or did you go for food? I thought you guys were planning on 2 people going for food.
Oh, 2 people. Okay, no, I'll go for food. That's fine.
Yeah. I think that's what you want because I think that's what you need because that way you guys have 9 food between you, and the thing is 3 away.
So we're up to 3 food each?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And then the only one who has to check for recovery is you, Baron.
All right.
So in this case, you're no one. Yeah, you're at +2 from 16 con and -2 for spring, but you're landing you're in a nice settled location. So +2 for that. So what do you got?
14. So
okay, you're full fatigue and partial recovery, but that's
I
enough.
only was down 1 body, so
that's enough.
I should be fully recovered.
Yep.
Nice. Excellent.
All right. So everybody is you picked up the item you wanted, and you got your information, and you've done move 3. So you have 1 more card before the doom. Where you want to go?
To that wooded hill.
We go to the wooded hills.
Okay, who's leading?
Okay.
I think I'm leading because I'm the one who can navigate.
Okay. So he's good.
He can
entered Ronar.
You are now entering the land of Ronar. That is correct.
Danger. Alarm.
Okay.
Boy, if only somebody could speak Elvish.
You are not in Kakadem or Manny. It is not winter, and you're not in the plains. Aha. So this one is a netherworld encounter.
Oh no!
Leader of the party only.
Oh no!
Ancestor audience.
Oh.
So it is modified by alignment, which in your case has no modification. So this is one of those things that can go either way. You're speaking to your ancestors in the netherworld.
So I'm being haunted by my ancestors.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
You are useless and weak.
Or you're great. Okay.
Or would like to grate you like cheddar.
You want high.
2 dice.
Is that a pledge pin on your uniform?
15.
You are blessed.
Woohoo!
Very nice.
Right.
Wow.
My ancestors love me.
Yep. Nice. You missed getting the clue as well by 1, but
yeah.
I'll
take blessed. The next time, I would have actually made it.
Is someone doing outdoor survival? Baron again?
What's the modifier?
Baron is the one who's best at this. We've already established that, right? That's
right,
why he did
so
it.
I'll just do it. I'm doing it.
He has +2.
Got it.
Okay, so yep, he does get another experience, and we're now. So now for the recovery roll, it's Tony rolling.
I do nothing here.
9.
Okay, 9. So you got +4 for the past wilderness survival roll, -2 for spring. That means you're at a total of +2. So you're starting at 11, which is full fatigue, partial recovery. You guys are all fine because you're not down any body. You don't need any better than that. So you're all fine.
Okay.
You are down to 2 food each. And we have reached 4. So it is DCR.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay, so first thing that's happened, I'm going to roll this die. 1, 2, 3 is the first. 4, 5, 6 is the second. 7, 8, 9 is the third of the 3 campaign doom cards, and a 10 I'll roll over.
But I am a folklore legends nerd, so if that ever surfaces, I'm your guy.
So you are discovering some things here. First of all, Because the first doom happened, we turn to our card 200. Card 200 says The Haunted Wild. Every DCR starting with this one, roll 2d10 on the table below. Alright, so somebody rolled 2d10, probably Tony, because he was the last leader.
Okay.
Oh,
I am rolling 2 out of 10.
boring.
Okay, so a fairy lady is placed somewhere
I
in
have
the original
18.
Yes, not necessarily a good thing in this case.
Danger, danger.
Where's the fairy lady?
It's a random location in this area. So, give me a second.
Yeah,
You
I'm not
take
sure
one
if I should
step
have rolled an
inside
18.
Ronar, we
Was an
get
18
ambushed
good
by
or
fairies.
was an 18 bad?
What's
That's
that?
what I'm
Was an
saying.
18 good or was an 18 bad?
An 18 was powerful, which could be good or could be bad.
Goodly bad.
Okay.
Sadly good.
Just a second.
I'm going to interpret that as
Okay.
good. Then.
You're only mostly dead, Tony. Mostly.
You can interpret that as good. Is that what you said?
Yep.
All right, this is only a placeholder for what this actually is. But, okay. So, the Haunted Wood. What that is saying is that at that location there is a fairy lady, and she will move around randomly each turn inside this area. And if you are within range of her, which is 2, she will move on to you. And if you're not, she won't.
And what does moving on to us mean?
It means that you will then have an interaction with her.
And we don't know what that is. Right?
Nope.
Sophisticated lady.
But she is one of the more powerful fairies that could be rolled on this table. Let's put it that way. Okay, so
Good thing I rolled an 18.
A long coat.
You did roll an 18.
All
right. But the other thing that happened, and this one is, because I rolled the third one happening first, this is kind of early. Okay, so we have to place a Ronar token here.
No. Wait, where? I can't see it.
Other Ronar token.
Nothing.
I haven't placed it yet. There. Okay, that's where it is.
A clue?
No. Not quite. But you're right that we do also have to place a clue, but I'll do in a second. Okay. Acheron, Prince of the Fae, confronts whoever is leading the party in the Netherworld. Acheron, Princess of the Fairies. No, Prince of the Fae. He's a male. Okay. He is a fairy illusionist associated with Tam. He's got all kinds of abilities. He asks you, why do you seek to take my chosen from me? Do you envy him and wish to take his place? You can answer yes or no. Yes is card 203 and no is 303.
Okay, so let me think this through for a second.
And the question is, why do you seek to take my chosen from me? Do you envy him and wish to take his place?
Because this is an issue of what's in it for me.
This is no. This is no.
Hold on. I need to look at this through an alignment lens for a second.
Would you like to have your brain?
He's role playing.
Let me. I'm trying to figure out which way is the wind blowing. So
in another world, so this alone. So no comments from peanut gallery, please.
Come on.
So he's saying, do I wish to take his place?
No.
Thomas, quiet. Yes, that's what he said. He asks, why do you seek to take my chosen from me? Do you envy him and wish to take his place?
Do I envy him and wish to take his place? And this like the brat is like a higher noble and
You're just
all that stuff.
Don't
right?
overthink it. Don't overthink it.
He is some powerful illusionist fairy confronting you in the netherworld and asking, why do you seek to take my chosen from me? Do you envy him and wish to take his place?
He has charisma.
I'm going to say, no, I do not envy him and I do not wish to take his place.
And die.
Because I'm actually happy with my status.
Having refused to take Verdon's place, Acheron asks you, do you then prefer to be prey? And you, and this one, you actually know the consequence of your choice. It's on the same card, right? So you can know these things before you decide.
I don't know what that is.
If you say yes, you will be transformed into a stag and must fight a dire wolf in the netherworld.
Oh my god.
If you defeat the dire wolf, -1 alignment, gain 1 clue, and return to your party.
Yes.
If you say no, you return to your party, +1 to your alignment, and Tanglewood is cast wherever the party moves next.
Oh my god. No, number one.
These are brilliant.
Do this.
Let me think this through for a second.
You don't care because you're neutral. God damn it.
No, I need to know what the. All right, so if I'm a stag, okay.
No.
What's? No, stop, Thomas. I'm trying to think this through. Stop from the peanut gallery. So the stag. What's the stag's deck and all that stuff?
Yeah, the stag has about 8 body, and he's got antlers and so forth, but he's not got a great deck. He's a bit bigger, a bit beefier than a dire wolf, but he's
prickly. He's what do you call it?
I'm having trouble like finding my files. So.
Well, I'm gonna, instead of doing files, I'm opening my copy of the.
He will be
copy of the game. Looking under.
He will be chop.
The archetypes.
Yeah, I just don't have all my cards handy. Okay.
I'm getting it for you. Okay. The dire wolf, by the way, is one that's known from this campaign.
Yeah.
It had 6 body instead of 4, and has 2 extra attacks.
Thomas, you never read Call of the Wild, did you?
Of course I did.
All right, so the stag has 8 body, 4 fatigue, antlers, 15 pauses.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And the dire wolf, how many pauses does the dire wolf have?
Dire wolf has 13 pauses.
Oh, man. Do it.
About the same.
Do it.
No, I know. Do I get any pluses for my prowess?
Nope, you're just the stag.
Well, that doesn't seem fair.
Enemies.
And then antlers are length 5.
Yes, antlers definitely have length.
Okay, so
very
all right,
nice.
so let's. Okay, I'm leaning one way, but I want to know what's the choice. So if I'm a stag, I fight a dire wolf, and then what's the benefit?
If you defeat the dire wolf, then your alignment drops by 1. You gain a clue, and you return to your party.
Woohoo!
If the dire wolf defeats you, the usual consequences of lost combat in the netherworld, you come back in whatever shape you were in at the end of that fight.
Okay, and then if I do not want to be prey, it's Tanglewood.
If you say no, you will return to your party, you add 1 to your alignment, and Tanglewood is cast wherever the party moves next, which is going to
no, do not
delay you if you can't navigate through it.
I'm going to be the stag.
Okay.
Yes.
Do it.
All right.
Yes.
Crush your enemies. See them driven before you. Nuke it from orbit.
It's the only way to be sure.
All right.
I want to be the stag. So, all right. Let me get I got to pull out some cards.
You do.
You want me to pull it back?
Not the deck you were thinking of.
No, it's not the deck I was thinking of. So, give me a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pauses. Well, I don't think I've ever fought as a stag.
Nope.
And then,
this is kind of great.
A little bit. So then I have 5 cuts and 3 smashes and 2 dodges.
Yep.
Okay.
Hope your hand is drawn well. I will focus now to make your deck very nice.
Direwolf with prowess 3, by the way.
Ooh. Your booth. Is the stack 3?
I think this stack is 2 if I'm not mistaken, but you can check.
Ooh.
2.
Hold on. I will find it. Oh, yikes. That's even worse. You should roll well and plan your attack well. And defenses too.
Well, deck is made and being shuffled.
You know, we still haven't gone to Borea. That's sad.
Okay, so we've got 5 cuts, you said, right?
Yep, which is your antlers.
Right. 2 dodges, 3 smashes. And
Which is your hose.
yeah, with my hose. And so the antlers are length 5.
Yep.
And the hooves are length 3.
Right.
Yep, they both have length on the small bite, which is length 0 of the wolf.
Okay.
Bash it. Smash it. Hit it with a hammer and bash it.
Okay. I hope I have a good hand.
You should pull a very good hand.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping for.
In the first 3 impulses.
I think I should. And it has, the direwolf has 6 body?
It does.
And I have 8.
And 4 fatigue.
And 4 fatigue.
So Tony, are you very impulsive or?
And it doesn't have any abilities, right?
Nope, no special abilities. Just compared to a regular wolf, it's got 1 more prowess, 2 more body, 1 more fatigue, and 2 more bites.
Yeah. And I don't actually know my hand size.
Oh, your hand size 7.
Oh,
Yeah, hand size 7.
Is 7, okay.
The size is 22. Tuck.
Really, it's your hoof size.
Yes. Which is a smash. Yeah. That's a smashing comment there.
It's a hoof and horn. H&H.
So I'm ready when you are.
Ooh, danger. Bob and weave. Serpentine.
Okay.
That's such a bad movie.
Okay. I am ready.
Right. Whenever you say.
I close and skewer the direwolf with my antlers.
That's a cut, right?
Yes.
It's a close and dodge. So there's +1 for the closing, -2 for the dodge, -1 with that, and then what's your antlers say?
Antlers, -1 to hit.
All right, and then do you have, what is your prowess?
2.
So you have -3 to hit total, you need a 14 to hit him with your antlers.
Nope.
You did not, and that's a red 1.
Yep.
So you have to pause next impulse. Because the dodge made a miss, the distance is long, despite the both closing.
Okay, and because I did not get hit and I played charge to contact, or And I close. I play charge contact.
Yep, you can play charge contact. So you need 11 plus to bash it. You did not. So you failed to bash it. You have to dodge. Sorry, you have to dodge.
No, bad. Oh, damn it.
Okay.
All right.
Come
So
on,
you're
come
pausing.
on.
He's got a bite. -1 for the thrust card. -1 for his small bite to hit. And I don't think there's any other modifiers. So he's a 13 to bite you. And good. Red 8 is nothing, even with the +1, is nothing special. You're taking 3 damage. 1 plus 2.
Okay.
And we're on to Impulse 3. You still have initiative.
Okay. Ready.
What you got?
No. Crush your enemies.
I pause.
Wolf dodges.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Impulse 4.
Oh, my planes.
When you're ready.
I'm ready. I dodge.
He pauses. Next.
I'm ready.
Got.
Cut.
Got a pause. So this time you just have -1 for the antlers and -1 for your prowess. And you have 13 to hit him.
Come on. Do it.
You missed, but there's no effect from the low red because he wasn't dodging this time. Impulse 6.
Yes.
Hoof kick.
Okay, he's got a pause. So what does your hoof kick say for plus to hit or anything?
Let's see. Hold on. Let's scroll back up. I drew a really good hand. -1 to hit.
All right, you have 13 to kick him.
Got him.
You did. All right, so what does your hoof ordinary damage do?
Hold on, let me figure that one out. I gotta find the card.
Sure.
Yep. Hoof kick is 4 damage. Is the second one the red?
Second one's a red. It was a red 6. So ordinary hit.
Yeah, ordinary hit. So it's 4 damage.
Okay, so you do 1 plus 3 to it. That's a wound card.
Okay.
Ooh, very nice.
I'm drawing it. Give me a second. Tagged it with your hoof.
Dismemberment.
And that's a smash attack, right?
Yep.
It is a moderate belly wound, 15. Smash does not apply.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, that ends the round. You're each losing a fatigue. You're second in both cases.
Yep.
And drawing a new hand for round 2, where you still have initiative.
Okay.
You will pick 45 cards.
I got it.
When you're ready,
I am ready.
call it.
Keep distance and pause.
Close and thrust. So he's got -2. He's a 13 to bite you.
Ooh.
He did not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pause.
Another bite. 13. Miss. Red 9 does nothing special.
Swing and a miss.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Pause.
Pause.
Okay.
What you got?
Hoof kick.
Oh, it's got a thrust. Hoof kick goes first. Thinking you're 13.
Do it. Come on. Come on.
Nope.
Nope, not quite. He's a 13 biting back.
Oh.
He missed 2.
Okay.
Impulse 5. What do you got?
Pause.
Dodge. Impulse
Okay.
6.
Cut.
Pause. So you need a 13.
Come on.
No, but you did get a red 9. What does red 9 do with your cut?
Hold on, let me figure it out. Bash.
Ooh.
Right.
Ooh.
Right. So you're tossing with your antlers, or trying to.
Come on. Come on.
Give me a second.
Come on.
Get my bash
card.
card. It's the end of the round.
Laid out. Come on. Laid out.
It is.
Laid out.
Staggered cut applies. Discard 1 combat action card. If you cannot, then discard the rest of your hand. He discards the rest of his hand.
What does he discard?
Pause.
Yeah, not much left.
Yeah. Would have been nice to be a continuing bash condition, but yeah, whatever.
I know.
Yep. All right. You're each losing a 3rd fatigue.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right, what do you got?
Keep distance and pause.
Keep distance and pause. You're out of measure.
Yep. Second impulse, I
Pause.
pause.
As does he.
Yep.
You're back in measure.
Yep.
3rd impulse, what do you got?
Hoof kick.
He's got a thrust. You go first with a 13.
Got him.
Got him. That takes him out.
Woohoo!
You succeeded.
Oh man, there's so many freaking pauses in this deck.
There are.
I mean, my first hand was really good. It was a smash, 2 cuts, a dodge, and then 3 pauses.
Yep.
And then the second hand was a cut and a smash, and then 5 pauses. And
Yep.
this one was the
You
same.
started.
This one was the same
started
thing.
with one bite and two dodges, and the rest pauses. But the second round, he got a really good hand of 3 bites, a dodge, and 3 pauses. But he didn't manage to. He only managed to hit you with 1 of those. So, and that was actually in the first round.
Yeah. So
well done. You managed to defeat the dire wolf, and that means that you first get your alignment drops by 1 because you took it on.
So I'm still worldly though.
Yes. You gain a clue. You return to your party.
Okay. And experience? You there? Hello? Great. And this is what happens when we have a Discord problem. I'm going to stop the recording.